In order to crack AWS jobs, thoroughly understanding Terraform interview questions is must. So I created a video series on Terraform frequently asked questions. This is video number 3. Let's get started with first question. What does Terraform init command do? This is a basic question, but still, this question is asked in interview. Terraform init command is used in several scenarios. First scenario, if it is a brand new Terraform project, we must run init so that it installs Terraform provider plugins. It is also used for installing modules. If we are referencing to a module first time, it has to copy module files to our project. Terraform init command is required. Number 3, if we configure remote state first time, like S3 bucket, DynamoDB table for state log, such things, it requires running Terraform init. Terraform init is used to initialize provider plugins, to initialize module first time, and for setting up remote backend like S3. Let's run Terraform init command. See that. There is no backend configuration, but it's downloading provider plugins. Perfect. That is the usage of Terraform init command. What is Terraform plan command? What it does? We use plan command to see the preview of changes it is going to make. Let me show this command. We just ran Terraform init to install provider plugins. Let's run Terraform plan. Before running it, let me show the code. I have written code for VPC and subnet. If these resources are not created in AWS, plan says it is going to create 2 resources. One is VPC, another one is subnet. I am running plan command. It says 2 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. So before making changes, if you want to know the changes it is going to make, plan is very important. How are dependencies managed in Terraform? Terraform manages dependencies in 2 ways. Number 1, implicit dependency. Number 2, explicit dependency. Let's see that. In this example, we are creating VPC and we are creating subnet. See line number 9. We are referencing VPC ID, that is first resource here, which implicitly means Terraform must create VPC, only then it can create subnet. So in this case, right, it is implicit dependency. Let me show how explicit dependency works, when to use it. Let's take 2 S3 buckets. I'm not writing complete code because I want to demonstrate only how dependencies work. Let's create one more bucket. Let's call this 2. Like this. In this case, there is no dependency between bucket 1 and bucket 2. Means we don't know which bucket gets created first when we run Terraform apply. Let's say there is a requirement, that is bucket 1 must be created, only after that bucket 2 has to be created. Because we don't have reference between bucket 2 and bucket 1, they are independent. Obviously, we don't know which order Terraform will create these 2 buckets. If the requirement is to create bucket 1, only after that bucket 2, we should use explicit dependency, that is depends on provide the reference of the resource, that is S3 bucket 1. This tells Terraform to create bucket 1, only after that create bucket 2. Question number 4. How do we validate Terraform syntax without running Terraform apply command? Let's say there are syntactical errors in the code. We want to catch them without running Terraform apply. What is the command? The command is Terraform validate. Let's run Terraform validate and see. Yeah, it is success. There are no validation issues in the code. Let's introduce syntax issue and again run Terraform validate command and see what it says. Let me put some random block. Now run Terraform validate again. See that. It's telling us there is syntactical issue in the code. What is difference between TFvars and variables.tf? Variables.tf contains variable declaration, whereas TFvars contains inputs to the variables. Let me show that. Let's create a file. Variables.tf. To define variables, let's define VPC cider. Let's give default value. Let's define VPC. I am referencing variable using var.vpc underscore cider. Variables.tf file contains variable declaration. Let's say we are maintaining multiple environments like dev, test, prod. I want to pass different cider blocks for different environments. That's where TFvars come into picture. You got it right? TFvars is an extension which is used to pass inputs to the variables. In real world, we are going to have bunch of variables, could be 30, 40 variables, and certain variables change from environment to environment. That's where we use Terraform TFvars file. How do you manage secrets in Terraform? Let's say we want to create RDS instance. It requires username, password. Password is sensitive information. We should not keep it in a TFvars because this file directly gets into version control systems like Git. We should not keep sensitive information as a plain text in version control system. How do you solve this problem in projects? The answer is we store secrets in secrets manager. This is manual activity. Then using secrets manager data source, we read data from secrets manager and pass information to RDS instance like this. Let's take an example of AWS underscore DB instance. Copy this. Let's paste it in the code. I'm talking about this one. We should not keep password as a plain text like this, or we should not keep it in TFvars like this because this file goes into version control system. So what I want to do is, I don't want to expose secrets in Terraform code. So I want to store it in the secrets manager. We can create secrets manager manually from AWS console, or you can create this from Terraform itself, but content into this secrets manager must be kept manually. That is number one. So number two, we want to read the password from secrets manager. There is a data source for that. We need to define a data source. One is secret. Let's call this RDS. So name of the secret. We should define one more data source. That is secrets manager secret version. Give any random name. Like this. We need to access the secret string here. Let's check this in document. Yeah. So data.aws underscore secrets manager underscore secret underscore version name and secret string. So this one. I'm not showing complete example, but I'm giving you the idea how to use secrets in Terraform. Question number 7. What is tainted resource in Terraform? What it does? Scenario for using tainted resources. For example, let's say this resource is deprecated or partially created. I want this resource to be recreated in next Terraform apply. That is enabled by using taint. So Terraform taint resource type dot logical name. Running this command, we are telling Terraform database instance must be recreated because maybe it is partially created or deprecated. That's all from this video. Thanks for watching. Take care.